thanks everyone for coming in a very short notice. Really, it's a blessing in disguise because when I mentioned him that I won't be here next week, and he agreed to come on today. He just landed yesterday only.
Not landed.
Yeah.
Row.
Oh, he rode actually by himself, by road all the way from Melbourne. So yes, so you can imagine he's always brisk and want to get on to hack. And he came early. He was the first person to come to our house. Always comes. I'll just only share a little bit for those. I think most everybody know except only few. So I don't know a lot of details about him. I mean, it is probably, if I have to talk about him, there will be pages. I don't want to take his time, obviously. He has been associated with the Chinmaya Mission for quite some time, and he's independent now. And all of you might have, some of you might have heard of Be Happy, the Happy Swamiji, Swami Anubhavananda, you know.
Yes.
I mean, you all know. So he was a close associate of Anubhavananda, his guru. And Radhikananda, I think a lot of you know, you also know Radhikananda.
She is to be known as
So
Sujata.
they are brother monks. Right. She couldn't come today because she has got some other appointment.
Class.
So she's running. So he is in Melbourne, and he has been conducting these lectures. Although it's available on YouTube anytime. And today is going to demystify what Maya is. And so I asked him what he can talk about, and
Yeah.
he said, okay, demystify Maya. We're all caught up, you know. We, in the world, we know our only person who know our own body is only you know your own body. Even the doctors, I don't think any doctors here, they can only give a superficial to some extent. So you know your body, you know your life force, life energy, and you know your own mind. We all know, but we don't know how to get on top of that. I mean, how to manage the mind, how to manage your own body. That's because of, you know, the Maya. We're all caught up in that. We're all caught up in that, everyone. So today we want to listen to Swamiji, how in a daily basis, how we can come out of the clutches of Maya. And before I say any further words, and I'll hand over to Guru Maharaj.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave. Right from the outset, we'll make one thing clear. How to overcome Maya in the daily life, this thought itself is a product of Maya. Okay? So whatever you do, it is not going to be enough to get out of Maya. What do you understand by that statement? Whatever you do is not enough to get out of Maya. Tell. It will be interactive.
You don't have to
I mean,
do it. Doing itself is Maya.
Done.
Good, because if you remember one of the classes that we took here, ego expresses as doership and enjoyership. We do something to enjoy, and because we enjoy, we want to keep doing, and we get caught up in the trap. And we think realization of our own essential nature is also something to be done. And that doing has come about because this idiot has taken ownership of this. So what is the difference between the total and the individual? I told you.
Yeah.
we
Total is beyond the grips of Maya. They
How? It is beyond the grips of Maya. Yes, that statement is true. But how?
We behave as an observer rather than.
That is subjectively. I'm talking from total point of view. We are individual, there is something, if there is total.
consciousness.
Individual has inner equipment called mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, which is mind, intellect, memory and ego. And why have these four come about? Because this consciousness which is expressing through this equipment has started somewhere. Because it is not recognizing who it is, then naturally its attention goes to something, its attention goes to this body, oh I think I am this. The moment this thought comes, I think I am this, then it has alienated itself from everything else, isn't it? That is what individuality is. And what is the total? Total is that who does not have mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, he has no mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. See? So the difference between totality and individuality is individual is in the clutches of mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. This is the expression of Maya at the individuality level. At the totality level, is Maya functioning? Yes. But you ask the total expression or you ask a Mahatma, he's in control of the Maya, isn't it? How come he is in control of the Maya? Because he does not accept that I am only this mind. Then what does he accept?
It's everything.
He is without a thought. That is very important point to be added afterwards. He accepts that he is essentially the entire, and he knows that he is that without thinking. Because thinking is the product of individuality. So this is the main difference. Now what do we have to do in order to get out of this thinking problem? What do we do?
Shut your mind.
Bang your head against the wall. For some time at least there will be no thoughts. Second option, go to sleep. Third option, liquid spirituality. Not spirituality, liquid spirituality. He is coming to the point. Liquid spirituality, the mind automatically slows down. Drugs, mind automatically. Everyone is wanting it. Whether you like it or not, every night you want to empty your mind. Because enough, isn't it? We get exhausted thinking. We don't get exhausted physically. We get exhausted thinking. We get exhausted reading. And that exhaustion will come if information is being interacted with objectively. Then exhaustion comes. Like when we were studying with Swami Anubhavananji, one family came, and elderly, must be a great donor to the organization, and early in the morning, Upanishad class is going on, nobody is allowed to come, but because he is a great donor, so he thought he can enter, he came in, parked the car forward, backward, hee haw. Swamiji said, I used to handle the music system. He says, put it on pause. Video was going on, put it on pause. He came in. Okay, shuru karo. He was very disturbed, means Upanishads are going on. That is not a place to park your car. You park somewhere far away and then you come walking and ask permission to come in. Banged the door and came in. Anyway, all done. Class was going on. And then suddenly in the middle of the class, hands up. Swamiji, are the students not bored for 2 years? You are telling them that they are Brahman and Brahman and Brahman. Swamiji said, put pause again. Told the video fellow, put the pause. He said, get out of the class right now. No, I am asking a genuine question. I am also telling genuinely, get out of the class. There and then he threw him out of the class. If you can't appreciate why we don't get bored of talking about it, why? Because we are not, because
we enjoy.
another reason, Enjoyment also goes away. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. Boredom will come after some time.
We need
Yeah,
reminding all the time.
Pardon me?
I need reminding all the time. to
You need
remember.
reminding of the time. Reminding is when you are interacting with the knowledge, and what are the scriptures telling about you, who you are. If you are interacting with that knowledge objectively, then reminding is required. Then memorizing is required. Then studying is required. Then contemplation is required. Then sadhana is required. And all that must be done. But while doing all that, there is one quality, one thing which is ingredient which is missing. And what is
There's
that?
no point of time in that when we enjoy. So I think, right? That's why it will be there.
You have to interact with this satsang, you have to interact with the scriptures, Gita, whatever you are studying, subjectively.
You lose your mind at that time.
Subjectively means what? Somewhere it is written. I think it is in some Sufi thing that a cow went to the field and ate grass and ate grass and ate grass and ate grass and became grass. That means the difference between the eater and the eaten vanished. See, when two people fall in love, first it is seeing from the window or trying to catch their eye, then phone calls, then touching, then hugging. But after that, wherever they go around, the image of that person is always with them, isn't it? Whether that person is physically present or not physically present, but the presence of that beloved is always there with them.
Merging.
So you
Merging. You lose yourself.
identity.
You lose your identity, correct? So when we study Bhagavad Gita, if we are studying objectively, means taking it, acha, who has written this commentary? Blah blah. Who has written? I have studied so many commentaries. This one, acha, another. What else can he write? That I have not studied. You are already in the wrong track. One Mahatma was studying Bhagavad Gita. So one person, people have habit of asking questions. So this fellow was enjoying chanting Bhagavad Gita like you are going to be having it on 22nd,
21st.
21st. So he was also chanting Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsava, going on and on. So he came, Swamiji, disturbed unnecessarily. Ha, bolo. They say you are realized, why are you chanting Bhagavad Gita? He says, I am checking what it is talking about me.
About me.
Ah.
About me. That's the thing.
So even while chanting, where is the attention of that Mahatma? Not on the verses. It is on the self. See, this is the difference. If we, while right now as the satsang is going on, if our attention is on the self, the cloud will disperse. The cloud of mind will disperse itself. But we only look at everything, interact with the world, with the scriptures, with the Mahatmas, only objectively. We are not interacting with all this in order to lose ourselves. So when they say work is worship, it is not key they want you to become another. No, whatever you do, you put 100%, 110% of yourself into that work, so that that work and the doer, the person who is doing that work, they are inseparable. See? In that way. Someone is cooking, they are inseparable. If you really enjoy, it's inseparable. You are doing yoga, if you enjoy it subjectively, if you are doing it only as an exercise, after some time exhaustion. But if you are, while doing yoga, you are aware that the postures are taking place, you are absolutely aware of every moment, you will not get tired. It is impossible. And with every passing day, the bliss, as he said, the ananda, it will keep multiplying. And such a person is ever blissful, means Blissful means ये नहीं कि all the time. He or she is ever inspired in life. Because that inspiration comes not from the books, not from the bosses, not from the guru outside, not from the japa in the mouth. But while all this is taking place, if our attention is on the divine, that life force, that Atman, that Lord within our heart and mind, then you see the magic. सारे बाल खड़े हो गए सुन बोलते बोलते ही. It is like that. It is like that. And if this clicks, then we accept that the Maya is there. Lord also accepts the Maya is there. But we don't become subservient to it. If you keep thinking about Maya, very difficult to get out of Maya. Very difficult to get out of Maya. If you keep thinking about ignorance, what is the expression of ignorance? Some people may not like it, or what is the expression of ignorance?
Ignorance is bliss.
Huh?
The saying ignorance is bliss.
Okay, and therefore,
Blisters.
okay, therefore, keep asking questions. You know, nowadays there is a way.
No, in fact, if you are ignoring itself, you are giving some importance to that, right? Because that time you are thinking about that you are ignoring, that you want to ignore it. So itself it is kind of, you are giving some importance to that. So it should be automatically without struggle.
It should be automatic. But for that you have to come to a disposition. You have to learn. I don't know it, no, last time you came at Lakshmi ji's place, na, that topic was not there.
I was sleeping.
You were enjoying the sleep. Instead of Vedanta, there was a Bhagwan story. कहाँ लाके मेरी बीवी ने मेरे को फंसा दिया. Where my wife has brought me and put me. And he says, Swamiji, I never had a sleep as good as this one. Something was achieved.
Spiritual.
Spiritual sin. क्या मैं बोल रहा था इसके पहले?
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Yes.
So,
What? Yeah. Yes, you are talking about ignorance.
हाँ, तो no, but I was talking about something about ignorance. It disturbed me with the sleep.
Questions,
Define it,
repeated
define
questions.
ignorance.
You have to do the disposition for that.
You have to have the disposition. And what is that disposition? That all this will continue. You cannot escape from this. This world, these people, these various seasons, hunger. You realize Master will also get hungry. He will also feel like going to sleep. Meaning his mind. If you ask him and push him, he will say, I am beyond sleep. I am beyond hunger. I am beyond relations. I am beyond everything. Yet you will see him taking care of his mother or father. Yet you will see him asking, hey, I am hungry, bring me food now. Or he going to the kitchen to satiate his hunger. Does not mean that he is attached to food. It is a natural expression. So, yes, the thought that came before sleep was that everything that is given in our scriptures is only, all the sadhanas, all the thought constructs that come, they have come by observing life. They have come by observing life. Every sadhana that is given in yoga, or it is given in the Puranic, in the Puranic Shastra or in the Gita, everything, if I take you through, you are doing it on a daily basis. But you don't know that. You don't know that. Right now, are you not focused? You say, but focusing is very difficult. Why focusing is very difficult? Because when you sit on the seat of meditation and you start doing, it is an unnatural way. So mind says, hey, ye kahan pe where are you fixing me now? I don't want to be fixed. And yet, right now, all of you are sitting here, you are focused on my words and me, and you are not getting distracted by anything. And every now and then a waft of breeze comes, you enjoy the breeze, but you are not forgetting where your focus is, isn't it? How come? Can you bring this disposition all the time? Meaning, remain aware. Don't cancel your experience by saying that I can't be focused, that I can't work out what Maya is. You can never work out. It is impossible until you don't go beyond it. Until you don't go beyond it. So we talk about expression of Maya, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. All these are its what you call expressions. It is very fascinating. Oh my God, the whole universe is just because of this interaction of these three forces, these three potentialities. I didn't know that. Now that becomes more fascinating, and you have forgotten the self, isn't it? This world is like, it is very fascinating. But understand one simple rule. There are no conclusive answers to anything in this universe. No conclusive answers. And when you shift your attention to the self, to the Lord in your heart, even while functioning in this universe, no answers are required. Now this gap between requiring no answers and finding no answers is the mind. In between those two. And this is the fellow, this is the mind which is continuously continuously having head-on collisions. From guru to guru, from text to text, from sadhana to sadhana, from anywhere it goes, it is in collision course. It cannot find a solution because there are no solutions in the mind. Can you keep thinking of sleep and go to sleep? Tell me. Tell me. What this thought came when I came last time also. So if one or two of you know, then it's okay. But it's good reminder. How much sadhana, because we said that all the sadhana that you do already is being told by the scriptures. Now, how much sadhana practices do you do in order to drop the world, in order to go to sleep? How much practice you do?
Not much at all.
Then what do you do? Now, satsang is there. You called me in the evening. Why you called me in the evening? Because you thought maybe the night, while the satsang is going on, night comes and maybe I'll have a good sleep while listening. But we know that it is evening time now and this satsang will conclude after some time. Then we'll get some prasad and then, see, but what is driving all your actions now? Till here you know. Now think what is going to happen next. You're going to drive back home. Then you're going to change into your night clothes. Then turn off the lights and do whatever little bit things you have to do. Take your medicine, drink hot water, relieve yourself. Then you will get into your bed. It's all happening naturally. Are you trying to drop the world away? Are you trying to drop these people? For some time, whatever someone said, it might play in your mind, but after some time, your focus on the sleep is so intense that you get into because that thought is guiding all your actions. See? You will get into the bed, you will get in, you will put the light off, you are thinking of the sleep, till you are thinking of the sleep, you have not slept. And when the sleep sucks the mind away, you don't know that you have gone to sleep. Isn't it? How much sweat did you lose or create in order to give up the world, give up the relations, give up the responsibilities, give up the duties, give up the body identification, give up the thought that I'm breathing or not breathing?
Nothing.
Not even once you thought about the whole world, isn't it? Naturally you glided into the sleep because your focus was on the sleep, because you have given importance to that thought called sleep. And what is the importance? If I don't go to sleep tonight, I will not be fresh tomorrow. Right? This is the importance that you have given to the sleep. Have we given importance to the self in equal measure? that if I don't know the self in this lifetime, then again the whole get conceived, be in the womb, in the urine for so long, then come, then again start A, B, C, D, then 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 3 are 6. Then again come to some satsangs, then again search which is my guru, then again same question, how can we go beyond Maya? There is no end to this cycle, Maharaj. Yes.
Then ultimately, then the sadhana itself is ultimately unnecessary.
Absolutely. It is unnecessary till if you are already that. If you have not got there, we must continue to do the sadhana, yet know that no sadhana is required to be I am already.
Yep.
I don't see
But
this
then
is
what's
there
the
is a
point?
big there is a great statement
What's the point of the sadhana then? Is that just
To-
to focus?
to focus or to dissolve the mind. Remember the satsang that I
It's
took
the
at your
dancing.
place, the 5 types of mind? It was all about dissolution of mind. Mind gets dissolved in sleep also, but next day ignorance is still there.
How do
Your
the
individuality is
practices,
still
how do
there.
the practices then dissolve the mind?
That will tell. Wait.
That's one of the question, isn't it?
I-
Dissolving the mind, and then dissolve the Maya. I mean,
You tell me, we are at a drop of a hat, we want to ask a question. Again, question is showing that importance is given to ignorance. Ignorance is given importance. I have already answered that question, but
yeah,
have you
answered
caught?
at the beginning, yeah.
What is the answer? Tell me then if you say yes.
You cannot easily give up the Maya.
No, I
No,
didn't
no,
say
no.
that. I didn't say
No,
that.
no. We haven't given importance to the self.
Stop thinking about it.
We have not given importance to the self. Tell me what sadhana you did to give up the mind? While going to sleep, what sadhana you did to give up the mind? No sadhana. Did you try to give up everything that you are attached to, your job, your responsibilities, your duties, your children, your grandchildren, and not only the outside world, but also your body? Did you try to give it up, or you only remained focused on the sleep, and detachment from all this automatically came about without your knowledge? Right? All this happened because in your mind the it is the greatness of sleep is there in your mind. That is why it happened. But do we feel that realization of the self or the self itself that I am already, do we feel that it is a great goal to be pursued? Yes, you can say now that, but there is no pursuit required. But are you there yet? Till you are not there, continue the sadhana, remain focused on the self, remain aware of the self, put attention on the self, and live your life in its presence, in your own presence. Everything will start undoing itself. The Lord says, no? What does He say? Mai arpito mano buddhi. You offer your mind and intellect to me, meaning you place your mind and intellect in the thought of the Lord. He says, I will take care of everything. Reformation comes about that way. See? Think. But the moment we think we have to do something, in the sense, because we are not becoming subjective, we are only doing it objectively, then I have to get up in the morning to do yoga, I have to get up in the morning to do the japa, but my mind is not getting quiet, what to do? While these thoughts are going on in your mind, are you aware of the self? That life is expressing through you, and that in that life, because of that life, the mind is having these thoughts? Are you aware of that? Because what is Maya? what it is and what it is not. Maya is that which is and that which is not, and yet not both. And yet not both. So nobody has been able to work it out. Then what about the Lord who is the boss of the Maya, Mayapati? He doesn't need to work out because it is his potentiality. It is his own expression. Now you take it subjectively, and if it clicks, it clicks. See the beauty. At the totality level, the Maya, the unmanifest totality, is the potentiality of the total. From the absolute point of view, which is beyond the total, there is no question of anything. It is all by itself. So absolute, totality, individuality. We come to individuality. That same Maya at individual level is called mind. Right? It has come about as a result of, electricity passing through the equipment called bulb is light. Is there anything called light? No, there is electricity and there is bulb. But is there anything called light? Light is a byproduct, isn't it? Consciousness interacting with itself, which is the body, the gross. So at a very, very, very gross understanding level, consciousness as if getting married to matter. A third thing is created, and that third thing is the mind. But because it is there, it is not necessary that it is there. Because under certain circumstances, conditions, you see a mirage, does not mean you can go and drink the water of the mirage. Because under certain conditions, you see a sunrise and a sunset, does not mean that the sun rises and the sun sets. Think about it. Because you see a ice block in the ocean, iceberg in the ocean, does not mean it is something other than the water. Understand? So imagine if this is the iceberg with the conditioning of space and time. Consciousness frozen in space and time is called remove the conditionings of space and time, you will go back to the original. But sir, how do I take out time and space? You do not, as an individual, you do not have the capacity. And you cannot, as much as you may try. But there is one way, and that is, you keep thinking of the one, of that which is beyond the space and time. And what is that? Either the Lord or the consciousness, pure consciousness, the life itself. And if you can be focused to such intensity with faith, with knowing that it is the most important thing of our life, that is why we are born. Just like you give so much importance to sleep, because if you don't sleep, you know what will happen. You cannot sleep for 1 day, maybe 2 days, but third day you will see the effects of it. And that is within this lifetime. We have not been able to see that if we don't realize it, come to know ourselves in this lifetime, what will happen to next life? We don't know yet. So we think, it's okay, So if we can give the self, give this Atma as much importance as we give to the sleep, automatic renunciation will come about. You don't have to practice it. Raman Maharishi did not do any sadhana. You have heard of Raman Maharishi, most of you? कोई बात नहीं, तुमने सुना है, बता देना. कुछ सीख लिया करो उनसे.
बहुत सीखा.
सीखा?
Work in progress.
अच्छा. The product is getting better and better. Yes. Huh? It is maturing nicely with the worldly knowledge and with the spiritual knowledge. That's it. See? If you can catch even this one point that I am making right now with regards to sleep and with regard that same focus. Raman Maharishi sat for 18 years in the cave. He did not think of anything else. I'm sure thoughts of hunger, thoughts of heat, thoughts of cold, thoughts of mosquitoes biting must have troubled him. But where was his focus? Who am I? His focus was, who am I? It's not continuously he's got a mala in his hand, pakad liya, who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I? It will not do anything. Like we do, Om, 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 Om. So it becomes mechanical interaction with that divine sound. If it is not made subjective, it will not do anything. Only your gala chala jayega, aur kuch nahi hoga. Your throat will go. But it took him 18 years, somewhere 10, 12, 14, I don't know how many years. But 18 years he was in the cave before he was discovered. See? So continuous focus on the self, because the world grabs your attention very easily. Very easily it grabs you. From one moment to the next. You are listening to me and the cricket started, suddenly your attention would have gone there and again you would have brought your attention back to me. When you are sleeping, your attention is on the sleep, then you suddenly remember, Arey yaar, did I lock the door or not? Again you go check, it is locked, you come back to the, oh, did I put the milk into the fridge or not? Again you get up, hota hai sometimes, isn't it? Even not, you have covered everything, you are in the bed. I think if I turn this way, sleep will come. If I turn this way, the sleep will come. If I put my hand behind the head, then the sleep will come. You try all options. The disturbance is there because we feel the outside is determining our sleep. Because that extrovertedness is still there. The mind is still alive. And as long as the mind is alive, it will only think about the outside. It is obsessed with it because that's how it has been brought up. But some part of it is saying, no, yaar, sleep to hai. But it forgets that if he keeps going away from, stops thinking of the sleep, gets disturbed by something outside in the world, he is delaying the advent of the sleep, isn't it? And somewhere, somehow, because already the majority of the distractions have settled down, suddenly, it only requires one suck, gone. See? Same thing is here. When the mind gets sucked consciously into the consciousness, because what is mind? What is mind? No. I'm giving you a different definition. It is nothing but consciousness. Mind is nothing but consciousness, but with thoughts. But with thoughts. So what is disturbing you? Is the mind disturbing you or is the thought disturbing you? Thought is disturbing us. Thought is disturbing us. As an individual. For a realized master, even the thought doesn't disturb. Does the wave disturb the ocean? No. Because it is the ocean. When you take that position that everything in this creation is nothing but me alone. But first you have to find out who am I or what is this Atma or consciousness. Then the next, and at the same time, that everything is nothing but me alone. Why am I fighting with anything? Why am I getting attached to? Why am I over analyzing? Why am I over involved in the world? The solution is not going to come by thinking of anything in the world. And in the world, one more thing is included, scriptures. Including the scriptures. But that does not, don't take me wrongly, having made that statement, we must continue to study the scriptures because they are showing you how to think so that you reach non-thinking. See? Very few masters are there who are because of their sadhana in the previous life or whatever, they are naturally Shirdi Sai Baba. From childhood, somehow he started Ammachi, a 6-7-year-old girl, sitting on the banks of the canals and going into Samadhi. No teacher. The, the eagles used to come and feed her the fish. They'll drop it into her lap to eat. But she is totally unaware. We are not born like that. Be truthful to yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Huh? So be truthful. So look at your daily life. His question is, how do we overcome Maya in daily life? At a practical level, as an individual, the only option we have is stop resisting life. Stop resisting life. And keep your focus on the infinite. That infinite, we say, I just said the statement, we keep the focus on infinite or the eternal or the all-pervading principle or the Atman. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? This mind goes and start thinking, I must know what it is, then I will merge. Then I will think. It can never happen. That question comes because faith is not there. In yourself. That life is expressing through me. And that life is nothing but that principle itself. See? देखो मजेदार चीज. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj says today, before we came, this Amrit Anubhav is by Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and there he says there is nothing. First chapter in Amrit Anubhav he says is Shiva Shakti Samavesh. First or second chapter I think, means the Lord and his potentiality. Potentiality is not other than the Lord. That one wanting to experience itself became the two, the Shiva and Shakti. Shakti, because we in our daily world, we यहाँ पे नहीं है photo. We see a female as Shakti, we see a female as a Shakti and we see a male as a Lord, isn't it? But tell me, don't you have potentiality within you? There is. And what is your potentiality expressing as?
Maya.
Huh?
Shakti is Maya.
No, what it is expressing in you right now as?
Individual.
Your ego.
Mind. Your Shakti is your mind. You are consciousness and your Shakti, your potentiality is your mind.
But you
Which
say-
it feels. I'm giving you different. Sometimes, initially I told you from the kg point, now slowly going in between I went to the higher point. So from all different angles I am approaching the same point, same topic. See? So the potentiality of ours is the mind. If potentiality of the Lord is called Maya, potentiality of the individual is called the mind. For that, now your question is, how do we overcome this mind? You have to live a disciplined life. While living disciplined life, you have to do everything. You have to do your actions, do your duties, do your responsibilities, eating, sleeping, waking, paying the bills, walking, driving, everything must be done with, what is the word? Mindfully or with awareness. So you know that this mind is there, it is required to function in the world, I cannot get rid of it, but I know that I am not the mind, because I know thoughts come and go, then I must be other than the thoughts. I know the breath comes and goes, so I must be other than the breath. I know the body is getting old, so I must be other than the body. The emotions come and go. I must be other than the emotions, otherwise how can I come to know? So then, okay, if that is the case, that means sometimes I lose the plot and I become the emotion. Stop becoming anyone in life. Don't become a husband, don't become a wife, don't become a son, don't become uh, a owner of any damn thing in this world. Just be. Recognize, becoming is a phenomena which will continue. If your wife comes in front of you, you cannot stop but express as a husband. The mind will do that. So, same arguments will come, same तकिया कलाम को क्या बोलते हैं? You know, set responses are there. They will automatically come out of your mouth because the mind is already programmed. But you know that you are other than these set responses. And once this clicks, and it is clicking all the time, you have to just, what does a teacher do or what does a scripture do? It makes you aware of what is already there. Nothing new is created. And the moment you become aware of that, array, this is all going on, the more you remain aware, to that extent, the undoing of the mind will come about. The more you remain aware. Many people are, when we say remain aware, it goes like a bouncer over the head. So for them, what do? Tell them, take the Lord's name. If you take the Lord's name, the Lord will make sure that you go beyond the Maya, because your mind merges into the Lord. Lord is the boss of the potentiality, so you will also become boss of the potentiality. Yet there are others who say, no, I am not devotee, I am not, okay, do yoga. And what do you do in yoga? Do yoga, make your body ready, because they want to do something. They are not able to, they cannot bring out enough faith for the Lord, nor they can think of the abstract, which is their own. You are that, which one? They still want to know it objectively. If you have understood that you know your thoughts, you know your emotions, you know that in the set responses that your mind goes through, then you know you are someone else. And every now and then we do, knowingly or unknowingly, we fall back into ourselves many times during the day. Only problem is we don't recognize that. So if you want to recognize, then because this third type of person is finding it very difficult, neither he can focus on the name of the Lord, neither he has the intellectual acumen to sit and contemplate and focus and bring his attention on the awareness that he is. And the third type, what? Do something. What to do? Do yoga, do pranayama. What happens when you do pranayama, dharana, dhyan, samadhi? It's a systematic, step-by-step process in order to dissolve the mind. Nothing else but that. But what do people do? They straight away come to the mind without doing the first few exercises. But are you qualified? Like a child saying, I want to study what is given in the university books. Hey, do you know what is taught in the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th? Do you know that? No, but why? If eventually I have to go to university and do PhD, then I can bypass all this. I want to straight away study PhD. It is not possible. At a very gross level, it is not possible. At gross level, everything moves in a particular at a particular speed. So you have to do the yama, you have to do the niyama, you have to do the asana, you have to do the pranayam, you have to do the pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Straight away jump into samadhi, it is not possible. And yet, that samadhi is taking place in your life on a daily basis, hundreds of times during the day. Don't take me for a ride. No, you will not accept it. Maybe you know it. You know it? Do you know that it happens? Nirvikalpa Samadhi takes place in your daily life thousands of times a day. But do you know it?
We don't realize it.
We don't realize it. What does Nirvikalpa Samadhi mean? That you are conscious, you are not asleep, and the mind is empty. Right? Now find out when during the day thousands of times this has happened.
When you're breathing?
No, breathing is your breathing.
When I'm fully focused and aware of what I'm doing, then only I feel like that.
Whether you are focused or not focused, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is taking place thousands of times. If you want to know the numbers, 71,000 times every day.
Is it in the space
Where?
in the space
Between?
Thoughts.
Two thoughts.
Between two thoughts there is empty space. Are you sleeping at that time? If I am saying these words, how many? 7, 8 words. Are they continuous? Or are they I, then there is a gap, am, then there is a gap, saying, then there is a gap, these, then there is a gap, words, then there is a gap, isn't it? So between every word there was empty. The mind was empty. There was no word there. I was still awake. I was still aware. That is the state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So it is taking place every day. Yoga, when you practice yoga and come to that point, or you do the japa of the Lord and come to that point, all you do is elongate that emptiness without going to sleep. You can't do it. It happens when the certain conditions in the mind are brought about. And what is that? When mind is not obsessed with the world, it automatically that silence, that gap starts expanding. It automatically happens on a daily basis. There are many times when you sit, your mind is totally empty. Has it happened to anyone? You go to sleep and you are not able to sleep, but you know that the mind is quiet. And every now and then the doubt comes, I have not slept, how will I function tomorrow? But next morning you get up and you find that you are not tired at all. That is Yoga Nidra. You are awake. You are awake. So, again, it's already happening, you are unaware of it. See? So, for the lowest way of looking at it, do your sadhana, come to dissolve the mind. Someone who is a little bit less body oriented, for him who has come to the level of the mind, take the name of the Lord, become single pointed, focused on the divine theme, the Lord, with form or with word, come to the same conclusion, dissolve the mind, because only he can dissolve the mind. In yoga you chant Om, isn't it, or something? So Om dissolves the mind. Here the mantra dissolves the mind. In those who are in their intellect, because we are all at different times, in the intellect, just remain aware all the time, in spite of all activity. For yoga, you have to take out special time out of your day to do the exercise. For japa, you have to take bath, put the tika, everything, put nice clothes, put incense stick, light the lamp, then sit down and take the name of the Lord. To be aware, you can be all the time. Nothing special is required to be done. You are in the toilet, you can be aware. You are taking shower, you can be aware. You are driving, you can be aware. You are fighting, you can be aware. You are having a intense argument with your husband or wife, you can be aware. If you are aware, there will be no precipitation of memory of that anger afterwards. If that anger is lingering and you come to a conclusion, I think this is the last straw. I think for one day I'll give him a silent treatment. Understand, you were not aware. The ego has come up. If you are aware, very next moment you will interact with that person as normal as if nothing has happened. That is the sign of awareness. Look at a child. eh, forgets, forgets. Spontaneous, always living in the present moment. When you are aware, awareness can happen only in the now. It cannot happen in the past, it cannot happen in the future. So what is the antidote to Maya? Remain aware. Second, dissolve your mind. So to dissolve the mind, you have to do the, don't think I am an intellectual, I will be aware. Forget it. Start from the, where, whatever, don't make a decision. Let it inspire you. You are in the morning, and don't cancel. The first thought that comes, find, oh, today I feel like doing meditation on the breath. Do it. It will take you to the silent mind. Another day, it could be Om Namah Shivaya. It will take you to the silent mind. Another day, no, it's not that you are saying not this, not that. Automatically it comes, I just want to sit silently. Sometimes you will find when you come to the seat of meditation and you are doing your japa, suddenly the rosary, you don't want to move it anymore because that movement of the finger is a disturbance, chanting by the mouth is a disturbance, or doing pranayama is a disturbance, and you just want to sit quiet. Remain. Don't disturb that silence which is naturally occurring. Remain without going to sleep. You have overcome the Maya for those few seconds. So in fact, knowingly or unknowingly, you are essentially beyond the Maya. You are imagining that you are under the clutches of Maya, and because you are under the clutches of Maya, in your disposition of your mind, you think, I need to get free of this Maya. By thinking about Maya, till today, nobody has become free. So you utilize the expression of the Maya called the mind to contemplate on the one who is the boss of Maya. The self, the Paramatma, the Lord, and let him bring it about. Let him bring it about. Hallelujah. You can keep talking about it in many examples. Enough, isn't it? If you have any questions, then should not be, but if you have,
You're still in the Maya then, if you have a question. Question comes only when you are in the Maya.
and Maya's expression at individual level is the mind. Question is an expression of ignorance. Our thinking should be such that it should lead to zero thinking. So what are the thoughts that we can think about which will lead to the zero mind? One is sleep. We all know. You think of sleep and your mind becomes zero, isn't it? If you can bring about that focus on the thought called infinity, does infinity have a form? Does sleep have a form? So you know how to think about something without a form, which is sleep, and reach a conclusion. Then it should not be difficult to contemplate on infinity also. So when you contemplate on infinity, oh, infinite, no borders. Oh my God, what it is. Space is like that. Remain there. Don't allow any other thought to come and cancel it. Mind will vanish. Birthless and deathless. Initially it will work out everything in the world. Eventually mind will vanish. Even more, very gross, think about where the breath is beginning and where the breath is ending. The gap between the breath, wherever it turns around. Don't try to stop, don't do a kumbhak, means stopping the breath, don't do it. Only keep your attention on that point where the in-breath is turning to become the out-breath and the out-breath is turning to become the in-breath. Just keep attention, because breathing is going on all the time. Mind will vanish. But till you don't practice these things, it remains only information. So try. Right, sir? No? Good?
All good.
Now ready to sleep?
Already I'm sleeping.
Okay.
With eyes awake.
ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
So with awareness, let us have prashad.
Did you speak that in awareness? Yes, we will have prasad with awareness. When you are aware and doing something, automatically your speed will slow down. Automatically.
That's all, yeah.
That is another observation. Everything starts happening at a very elegant pace.
Breath rate.
Everything.
That's why.
When you are aware, as the mind starts dissolving, now the breath doesn't need to breathe that hard. The body doesn't need to function, because there are no thoughts to push the body to act. Everything starts slowing down.
And that's why don't do multitasking. Just do one thing at a time.
And yet, in that one thing, whatever is inspiring from within, multitasking happens. Just like here, only one word was spoken, but so many people heard. Multitasking.
No, but not, it's single task for you, not for others.
Okay, that way. But it is, see,
Because otherwise,
नहीं मैं बता रहा हूँ, I understand from where you are coming. The more you come to yourself, to remain aware, the mind, what is the dissolution of the mind? It will realize that it is the source. Right now it feels that it is separate from the ultimate. And as the number of thoughts in the mind become less and less and less, to that extent the mind keeps expanding. And expanding for what? It expands to include everything. So Vyatirek is to the exclusion of everything. You are thinking about the self, and Anvaya is that self which is expressing as mind with thoughts, is that mind is now expanding to include everything in its womb. So there is no difference between anything. Right now we feel that you and me are different. But as the mind expands, therefore this comes in the Shirdi Sai Baba Poti. If you have read, the Amma was there. He said, Amma, you never ask me for food and this and that. Go and make me some puri and bhaji and pitla and everything. She spends 1 hour to make all the food. He comes, and at that time, one dog comes and he says, give the food to her, to the dog. And she lets loose on him. You made me work for 1 hour only to give the food to the dog.
He doesn't see that.
But the dog ate the food and he gave the burp. He says, from where I am standing, there is no difference between the dog and me. This is not an imaginary story. This is their this is how they are. This is all Amma cannot sit there, Ammachi cannot sit there and hug hundreds of thousand people for 48 hours in a go and not feel tired. Without feeling tired. Because she feels the oneness with them. Therefore, it is possible. It is self-propagating, that love. It has got no borders there. And that is unconditional love, in which there are no differences. And that becomes our disposition then, all the time. In fact, that is what we are essentially. But we have imagined that we are not. Shanti. Hari Om.